going on? Late night. Let's go. Let's see if anybody comes up in here. It's 8:30 here, so that's probably only 9:30, 10:30, 11:30 on the East Coast, which isn't that late. It's not that late. It's definitely not late here. What are y'all up to? Let's see if anybody, I put it on public, so this should work. There we go. I can see somebody in here now, so I know it went live. I know it went live. Harry Bettinger, what up? What up, Susan? What up, Elaine? What are y'all doing? Just coming live. Saying what's up? What's up, Navajo David, local Bay Area? Watching Squid Game. I've never watched that show before. I don't really watch TV anymore. I haven't watched TV really in a long time. I feel like TV is very bad programming. It's very bad program. It's all drama and just bad behavior. I don't really like it. What's up, John? What's up, Lori? What's up, my jewelry addiction? I wanted to give you guys a heads up that I unleashed a very powerful video yesterday. It's something that I've been working on for a minute, and it's an update to me. Starting to grow on Whatnot. That's awesome. Whatnot's in a little bit of a down spell, in my opinion. It's not as powerful as it once was. It's still very, very good, but it's not as powerful as it used to be. And product is everything. Music is awesome. I love listening to music. I love it. Susan, you appreciate my video yesterday? Thank you. It was I wouldn't say it was tough to make. It was just one long clip, really. But it was different. It was different. I wanted to be completely transparent and I wanted to be open and honest. I wanted to give insight on where I've been heading and something that has transpired in my life because I've always prided myself in being transparent. I don't do social media to get people to praise me. I don't do it because I want to say what everybody wants to hear. I do social media to be a person who is just transparent. You know what I mean? Who's genuine in their self. There's nothing against social media people, but I do know for a fact a lot of people do social media to be a certain way, just like most people in life. Most people in life wear masks and they're afraid to let them slip off. They don't want the world seeing who they really are. And um, I'm far from perfect. I've always told you guys that since day one. I'm humble enough to know that. But I've also spent a lot of time on my social media talking about things that I believed in, and my belief structures completely changed. And I wanted to make it present or aware that I have had some type of revelations. And so I decided to make this video, explain my journey and where I stand. And I put it on my new channel, Hustle Grind Rewind. And I don't know if a lot of you know my new channel, Hustle Grind Rewind. This one, naturally, I've had forever, and I don't put full videos here. I never put full videos on this channel anymore. I only use this channel for the shorts, the same thing I put on TikTok, Instagram, etc. So, in case y'all don't know, if you go to Hustle Grind Rewind, you will see probably my most deeply opening video I've ever put on social media. It is probably my single most, like, just opening up my heart and mind. What's up, Randy? Is that because of more? I don't know what I think. Whatnot's really bad right now, more because of the economy. Like, look how bad the economy is. You know what I mean? Look how bad stocks are, crypto is. Look how high gold is. Look how high inflation is. A lot of people don't have the extra money to spend, which is sometimes tough in resale, and it's also a good thing in resale. It's like a catch 22, you know. And the economy's bad. I just got an email today saying my house is down 4%, and I've owned it for 3 months now, and it's already down 4%. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of dang money to be down in a matter of 3 months. I'm not really happy about that. Are you a baddie? I would. What's a baddie? What is a baddie? Define a baddie. 2D greater sign love. I could be. I don't know if I am. Like I'm just a regular old me. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know if I don't think I am. I don't. I'm gonna have to go with no because I don't know what a baddie means. Give me a better definition. I'll give you the answer. I would say you are the most honest and direct of any storage auction reseller. You are very direct and sincere about your desire to follow. Yeah. Um, Again, I've always said, like, I'm not here to please nobody. I'm not here to pretend to be somebody. I'm not here to say what everybody wants just to get more views. That's not my style. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not an egotistical person like that. I do what I do, whether it's successful or it fails, I keep doing it. I've been doing that since day one. You know what I mean? I was the only guy decades ago doing this. You know what I mean? It's safe to say I paved the way for the cats to get paid today. Great musical lyric there, but it's the truth. Well, that's a long story. I don't want to bother you with my problems. Randy, I'm always ear- I always enjoy listening. And if you leave a message or you comment, I read all your comments and I appreciate all you guys who have commented on my most recent video and you've shared your epiphanies, your struggles, your awakenings, et cetera, because it's not an easy road. Something I've learned being on the other side of not believing in religious beliefs is how easily one is shunned away from conversations that have to do with that. And so the opposite is now being a believer, hearing the things is also helpful as well. Um, Long time prior, hope you're doing Big Ray. I'm just doing okay. I'm just doing me. You know what I mean? I'm just doing win or lose. I'm doing. That's all I know how to do. Do you do punks? What are punks? Earl Sanders. What are punks? Do you do like NFT punks? Are you talking about NFT punks? Like I don't. Y'all are speaking in riddles. A couple of y'all here speaking in riddles. First, somebody called me a baddie, and then I'm not a baddie, so they didn't like that. I seen that beautiful background in the post office this show and wanted to say hi. Oh yeah, that was a trip I took last Saturday to Tahoe, and I think Tahoe is one of God's greatest creations. There's something about that place. I don't know what it is, but it's so serenely beautiful. The water was crystal clear. The scenery is just beautiful and priceless. And I wanted to use that as my thumbnail. I've watched your videos since you were in your car and you have stayed true to who you are and said it how it is. I appreciate that, David. I really do appreciate that because sometimes I hear from a lot of people that they think that I'm obsessed with this, which is very unique. They think I'm obsessed with social media or I'm obsessed with like impressing people. And it makes me laugh inside. I know it's not true, but I appreciate when you say that because it's like good to be reminded of the reality. When you were in prison, you didn't oil your punk. Never been to prison. You know what I mean? I don't swing that way, Earl. I'm sorry. If you're hoping that I swing that way because you find me attractive, I have to let you know. Because I have been working out too, so I can see why you would think that. But no, I don't go that way. So I don't want to disappoint you, but it's not me, bro. Besides our love for one another, nothing is more beautiful than nature. Yeah, I agree. I like nature. That's why I like this house I live in. It's completely nature, and I wanted to live up here because there's something serene about being in nature. And some people don't get it. Some people don't find peace in it. You know what I mean? Some people like the chaos of the city, and I'm learning more and more being away from the city how glad I am to be away from the city. Like if I go on my Facebook or whatever, there's constant negative, really bad news about where I just moved from. You know, what was it just like 3 days ago? There was a lady who got her car um, hijacked, and then they took that hijacked car and went and robbed somebody. And then Last week was a 9-year-old who got shot in the neck in just a couple miles from where he moved from. And then there was something else too. It's just like constantly. Every time I turn on the news and look on my feeds around there, it's just constant chaos. And around here, we don't have that. Around here, we don't really have that. We're outside of the city, and I love that. I don't like that my kids still live there. I'm a little worried for Michael and Michaela because they're still in that mindset of the big city, but yeah, not me. What's up, cousin? What up? Guys, feel free to smash that like button. Um, Earl, I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you because I can tell you need it. I can tell you need it. Your mind is obviously in the wrong place, and I'm just gonna make sure I add you to my prayers later on. You know what I mean? You get any flooding yet? David, you're in Roseville, right, David? Did you say you're in Roseville or something like that? Citrus Heights? What is it? I forget where you said. We're not getting flooding here, but it is definitely raining like a mofo. Um, Folsom, yeah, you're in Folsom. That's right. Same thing. It's like right there. You know then. No, it's this we're getting about the same weather as you. It's been raining like cats and dogs, and it's supposed to rain for the next week. What's up, Januit? What are you doing? Yeah, it's not flooding here, but I'm on a mountain, so it's gonna be hard for me to flood. I guess when I go down to lower elevation, I have to drive. I might experience flooding, but the water just kind of rolls off my hill like a duck's back. You know what I mean? It washes down to the street, so it's gonna be hard for me to flood. But it's wet. It is wet, man. Oh my gosh, it is freaking wet. You wouldn't even believe it. I had a guy come today to give me a quote on cutting some big trees down, and I had to stand out there with him for like 10 minutes. I got drenched. I got drenched so bad. Not to mention, I almost had a heart attack when he told me how much each pine tree would be to cut down. I'm like, I don't, I don't think I'll be doing this anytime soon. Send me your quote over. But you have a tree guy, Robert? These are pretty big trees. These are like 80-foot pine trees close to my house, and I kind of want to remove like two of them, maybe one to two of them at least. And then I have one out back above my garage. And I kind of just don't like them because I feel like if I leave them there, they're going to fall through my roof. I just have this weird, I just don't like that, you know? So I want to move them, but I also just don't have the money to throw around on them too. This house and this move is kind of like really, hey, how you took oaks out? How'd that work out? How'd that work out? I've just found out the legal laws on oaks. Did you just do it and you didn't care about? Kind of annoyed me that the tree guy came today. He's like, "Oh, it's all right. You ain't got to worry about your neighbors snitching on you. We could do this tree for like 2,500." And I'm like, "Bro, you really just told me to not worry about the permits and not worry about my neighbors snitching on me. And my neighbor up the road is a forester who came down and gave me the advice on oak trees and tells me it's 150 a square inch for the fine for cutting down an oak tree." Mm-mm. Oh, hell no. I'll let that mofo grow till it falls before I'm paying 150 a square inch. No, you don't need it for the pines. You don't need them for the pines 100%. And I only want to cut down the ones that are leaning over the roof. There's one right here, like right there, and then there's one right behind it, and they're really tall. And then I have one on that side of the house too. That's where the propane tank is. I kind of just want all three of those gone. And then one behind the house. He's talking about like almost 10 bands to cut four of them. 10 bands. No freaking way. I don't think I'm paying 10 bands to cut four trees down. Your guy's 3,500 for four trees or one? Four trees or one? L- He said he would trim my branches and then he would cut the trunks into like 16 to 20-inch sections. And so I can keep those till they dry and then I can make firewood out of them because I want pine wood to burn in my fireplace. Shit, 3,500. I'd probably pay 3,500 to have 4 big pines cut. I'm not paying freaking the Holloway. See, I got a 16-foot friggin' dump trailer, Robert. So I would haul off the branches myself, and I would keep the stumps to be like firewood down the road. You know what I mean? I wouldn't really want to get rid of them. I just want them gone. That's what I want. Yeah, I would keep all the tree trunks. I'd probably take a chainsaw carve and I'd be making freaking bears out of it and shit. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, oh guys, I got a pine duckbill platypus for sale. That's what I'd be doing. Putting that steel to use, guys. I'm doing chainsaw art. 2,000 a statue. Make that money back real quick. I got a disfigured elephant, guys. No trunk. Let me know. Let me know what I'll send you a picture tomorrow, Robert, and let me know. Make sure they insured. Yeah, that is the scary part because the one tree is literally right out. It's like right. It's like 6 feet that way. I could not have it falling on the house. The guy who came today was definitely insured, but no way I'm trying to mess with that. No way. Can we get back to the lightning strike? Carrie, what do you want to talk about? Like I put a full video on that, so I don't want to keep rehashing it. I mean, I don't mind exploring more to it, but you have like a specific question? Um, it was crazy. My video, I touched on as much as I could. I tried to give you guys a good walkthrough in this video, and also open up and show some sides of me that I would like to discuss. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I try to be a transparent person, and I try to tell people like really who I am. I'm not pretending. You know what I mean? But um, I've been studying. Like, look, here's for example. I'm literally laying in bed reading my Bible as I decided to do this video because I hear a lot of people keep saying, messaging me like, "Hey, when are you gonna put that video out?" And I know a lot of people don't follow the new channel. We only have 9,000 followers on the new channel versus this one that's 300,000 followers. And a lot of people here do not know I have a new channel. So I really wanted to just come live and tell people go check out yesterday's video titled I was struck by lightning. And that's the best way for me to describe it. I really believe that it was like a metaphorical bolt of lightning. It came through my roof in my garage and it flipped a switch in me. It gave me a whole flash of my whole life. And in those moments, I realized A, all the answers I've been looking for have really been inside my head and God's been showing them to me. B, that God exists. C, what I need to change in myself and work on. And like I said, I touch a lot in that video. Did you watch it, Carrie? Did you watch that video by chance? Yes, we had one right next to the house too. Our arborist climbed the tree and dropped the branches down and brought a chipper and took everything away. All right. I'm working on the oaks myself. I found out the legal laws, so I'm going to start cutting down some oaks. I don't want to cut down too many because I also found out that oaks are very biblical. They have a huge biblical significance, and I don't want to touch too many of them for that. I even disclose in my video an area of my house that I believe is almost like a sacred place. I can't explain it to you, but through my awakening, I have learned that this area is very unique. I watched it and it made me so happy. Thank you, Donna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What is your feedback on it? What do you think? What do you think? I'm liking the inside. I like devil's advocate as opinions. I love being able to speak with people that have mutual interest or possibly want to debate on why not, if they can handle a civilized conversation. I love doing that because that's how you spark uh, knowledge. That's how you learn and evolve, is being able to hear things that you don't agree with and possibly understand that you need to expand, right? And that's where I think a lot of people struggle. That's where a lot of people struggle, is having those healthy conversations, which is in our day and age, that's a big problem. We have a huge problem in our current life. That's one of the reasons why Charlie Kirk was killed, because people cannot stand just having a healthy conversation about something that they don't agree with, because they refuse to see a potential in thinking differently than they do. You had an epiphany, is like being struck. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if epiphany is the right word. I would call it like an awakening. I feel like it was kind of like a bolt of lightning, because that's like how it felt, and it flipped a switch in me. It wasn't even like an epiphany, which is like more like a thought to me. It was kind of like I had a light switch off that was like shunning a lot of things that I should be thinking, and it completely shunned everything in that direction. And the flip of the switch just opened up my ability to see differently. I had a similar experience and I don't know what to make of it. Explain it, Carrie. I'd like to hear. Just try to give me like a short synopsis of what it is. I know for me, I have spent the better part of my life. When I was younger, I used to do a lot of religion. My mother would take me to a lot of different churches, and we would go, and I would hear and I would listen, and I went with friends and family and stuff, and I never really doubted it, but I never believed it, right? Because I have a problem with organized religion. I'm not gonna lie. Even with my new spiritual awaken, I have a huge problem with organized religion, because anything that man is involved in is manipulated in my eyes. And you never know if the person who's running the church, or et cetera, have everybody's best interest, because it is a business. It's a nonprofit that brings in money through donations. So that could be corrupted. Somewhere along the lines, the devil or something could be involved in there and using it to manipulate. And then you have the follower mentality, where there's a person preaching, and these people come there and they listen to you and they're like followers. And I'm not saying that this is the way it is everywhere. What I'm saying is this is something that's detoured me from life, for life, because man has a way of manipulating things. And I don't just mean man, I mean like mankind, women and men alike, are incapable of seeing the error in their own ways. And people in that type of power, they tend to get a big head. They tend to use everything to their advantage. And with that being said, it's always made it hard for me. Like, I personally don't think that I'm going to become like a person who goes to church on a regular basis because of that, but I'm definitely trying my best to figure out how to continue this newfound faith and how to learn. I'm thinking more, it's going to be more about me maybe watching videos on the internet, and it's going to be more reading stuff like this. I just got this Bible. I actually carried around, I didn't even say this in my, this is like, what I've realized is God is everywhere around me, and he's continually touching everything around me, and I can't deny it. And a lot of people near me think it's crazy because they don't believe. And little instances are proven to me that he's there. Like, so last, about 2 weeks ago, I was reading a little Bible. Believe it or not, I didn't say this in my video, but I have not, I've carried a Bible in my pocket for 6 years. It's this little baby Bible is in my wallet. And I never opened it. I just carried it, found it in a storage unit. And 2 weeks ago, I decided to read it. I decided to crack it open in my spot that I showed you in that video. And so I read this in my spot. And then the very next, and when I was done with it, I was like, I need a bigger Bible. And I live in the middle of the forest. I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's not sidewalks. There's not a random place for people to show up. The very next morning, on my door is two young men, and they brought me a Bible. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that's just coincidence, and that's fine because that's their arrogance of not wanting to understand. But I wholeheartedly believe with every shadow of doubt in my mind that that was God sending me a Bible through his angels on some level. And you'll never convince me otherwise. And it's those little instances that have happened so many times recently that have shown me what's going on. You see the Bible teaching and you make sure the pastor is following what God is. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, Sandra. And I don't know enough. Like, I don't know enough about this stuff to just be like, oh, this pastor is doing it for the right things. I'm not saying that all pastors are like this. I'm just saying I have a real big problem when mankind is involved. Mankind uses things to their advantage. And then you have to understand, are they using the sins in their advantage? You know what I mean? Like, is their pride in the way? Are they so full of pride that everything they say is right? Because pride is the number one sin that allows the devil into your life. Something I've learned. All I could see about my window was Alcatraz prison. That's God. I'm telling you, Robert, I'm telling you, there's a lot of instances that I know for a fact is God literally can't explain it. And I know it's going to sound crazy. Like today, I decided to go up into my spot and pray. It's pouring rain outside. It is pouring rain covered in gray. You're in Forestville, you're not far away. And I decided to say a prayer. That's what I do out loud. And the moment I started praying, the sky opens up like a big, bright yellow gold light, almost like an eye in a sense, but just this bright light. And for the moment I prayed, it just shined on me. And the second I was done praying, back to gray. And again, I swear on everything, it was God listening to my prayer. I can't explain it. It's nuts. Um, I do believe God brought me here. I've said that in my video. God took me to this house, to this area, because I believe there was a lot of enemies in my life. There was a lot of frenemies. There's a lot of people close to me that see me just as a paycheck or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of haters at the flea market. There's a lot of people who hate what I brought the storage business to and taught everybody how to do it and brought all these people into the world who wasn't here before. A lot of people don't like that so many people have prospered off of what I originally created by myself decades ago. And there's just everywhere I go is this negative energy. And I feel like God brought me to this home, to this place to get me away from all that for the next chapter of what's coming into my life, for the bigger things that are heading my way. And I truly believe that. I see it unfolding now as I reflect on all the steps that were taken to get here and the instances in my life that have transpired. I truly believe that he brought me to this place where I'm exposed to be, for me to learn the next things, for everything that transpired here so far that brought me to my awakening. It's crazy, but it is real. It is real. It's nature. It's always been nature. I agree. I agree. And that's why I said I don't want to cut the oak trees down because I've been looking. One thing I do a lot of is looking up the biblical meanings of things. I don't know why I am, but like say for example, if you see a certain animate object regularly for a few days in a row. I'm Googling what is the biblical significance of that. And oak trees are very powerful in biblical significance. Um, What is the word it says? It says something about, I'll even read it to you. I'll even read it to you. Let me just Google it. It's right here. Oak tree biblical meaning. And it says that they symbolize strength, endurance, and righteousness, serving as a metaphor for spiritual stability and divine protection. It also represents covenant and sacred spaces, appearing in significant events in Abraham's encounter with God of the oaks of Mamre and Joshua's renewal of the covenant under an oak. And that's crazy because if you listen to my video, I tell you guys that my I had reached out to a medium of mine who I've used over the years, and she told me God has been trying to talk to me. That's what led me to this spiritual awakening. The first step is she told me God was trying to talk to me, and she sees a pine tree. Now, I don't think everything she says is right. So I follow my gut. Everything I do in my life, I follow my gut. She told me to choose what I felt right to sit in front of to talk to God, and I chose a tree that was actually where Jessica hung the hammocks that we have back there, and it was two trees there. And this is in my area that I feel in my backyard has some type of serious spiritual energy that I don't know what it is, but the very moment I've moved into this home or saw it for the first time, there's something about walking up the stairs and through that area that I think has some severe positive spiritual significance. I don't know how to explain it. And again, this probably sounds nuts to some people, but it is what it is. If you hate it, don't listen, you know? But um it's weird because now I follow my gut and it always leads that way. And I ended up sitting there in this tree for a day and a half. It became 2 days almost. And that's when everything opened up. And the very second day I did this is when the bolt of lightning came through me after talking to God in those trees. And nothing in my life has ever been the same. It's been about 3 weeks now. It's nature. So in the nature of your business, you're constantly focusing on material items, but you know that we are temporary owners of them and abandoned store. I hate material items. I cannot stand material items, John. This business has taught me how much people are obsessed with image. There so many people are so obsessed with products, items, money, the way they have to look. They have to have that type of purse. They got to have that car. They got to have that everything because that creates their self-worth. And that is the sole reason why money is the root of all evil. It is 100% the sole reason why it's the root of all evil because people don't know how to be happy without this image enhanced thing. I've never felt that way. You guys see me. I don't care if I look like a bum. I don't care if I wear the same clothes every day. I don't care if my hair ain't perfect because that's image. That is a materialistic world. That is a mask we live with that makes us feel better because our life didn't teach us self worth. And even me coming from nothing, I've never lacked that self worth. That is probably the one thing my father taught me in this world, considering he was plagued by demons and his addictions and stuff, he always showed me how not to have shame. Good to see you live, Mike. You look really relaxed and happier. Thank you for opening. No problem. I'm telling you, I still haven't got rid of these bags under my eyes, but I can tell you I don't feel this burden I felt for the longest time. You know what I mean? Yes, I agree with that. You have to be careful. That's something I learned recently is one of the ways that the devil enters your life is through tarot cards and fortunes. So I'm sketchy about the medium now. It's crazy because I believed in it so much for so long, Robert. But over the course of the last few weeks, I'm understanding how dangerous that is on every level. I get it. I get it. I feel I will only use her moving forward for healing energy, not for readings, not for that type of stuff, but healing energy, which is something she really has helped me with chakra. That I might. Please read Leviticus 19:31. What is that? Oh, Robert seems to know that. The reselling business is definitely yes. The reselling business, I like it to make money. We got to make money, right? Like we've always had merchant areas in all of life, right? I like buying stuff to sell, but I hate products. Like I hate material things because it's so like I don't know how to explain it. Most people never live their life because of they're so bound by money. And the reality is they've spent all the money they've made trying to fulfill this empty spot in their soul with material items. And that's why I have a job. I've had a job for so long, which is off of people's misfortunes because they spend all their time chasing material things. Leviticus is a biblical verse that prohibits turning to mediums, familiar spirits, or spirits for guidance, stating that doing so would lead to defilement. I am the Lord your God. What does defilement mean, Robert? And get over it, bro. I'm gonna pray for you, Russ. It sounds like you need a prayer, maybe even a hug. Everybody send Russ a heart. They seem like they're battling some type of negative energy, and I think they need it. Everybody give them a heart. Leviticus is the third book of the Old Testament. I don't know anything about this is what I'm reading. This is what I'm starting with right here. I'm reading this book, and then when I'm done with that book, I'm gonna read this book. I got this book right here. I just ordered this, and that's my next book I'm gonna read. I don't know. You can judge it if you want to or not. It's up to you. I don't care. I'm just being transparent. Um, I'm absorbing knowledge. You've done that with I can get it, John. I get it. I totally understand. I used to like collecting stuff when I was younger. I don't like collecting anymore. The only thing I collect is Nike clothes. I don't know why, but I just like Nike clothes because you just do it, and it's like my motto. And for some reason, I do it just because. And every now and then I want to look nice when I go out, so I have my like nice little Nike clothes or whatever. But I really don't collect nothing. It's it's cliche at this point, and I hate to say it because my I need to sell stuff to people who collect things, so it's redundant. It's redundant for me to even say this that we shouldn't collect because I need people to collect to buy the stuff I have for sale, right? It's weird. It does as you grow, John. Like most people won't realize this till they're dead or they're on their deathbed. You know what I mean? Look at a rich man like Steve Jobs. What does he say on his deathbed? Look at all the most famous, fortunate, richest people. What are the words they speak on their deathbed? That's the stuff we need to absorb. As we grow up, we want to be like these people. As we get older or as we make money, we just want these things because it's momentary fulfillment. But does that really fall under the sins, like, for example, greed? You know what I mean? Like, does it fall under there somewhere? This is the most accurate one right here, Sandra. Because what I'm hearing is the Ethiopian Bible is more accurate because they've consolidated and most verses in this one have less words than what's in that one. Like they constricted each post. But I don't know. I'm just going with this because this is what I think God sent me. I truly believe that God's actually. It's kind of weird that when these kids came, they tried to give me the Book of Mormon, and I was like, no, I don't want that. But if you got a Bible, that's what I'm looking for. And they're like, yes, we have one in the car. Maybe I needed to make that choice. Maybe I needed God wanted to give me an option, so He sent them to see if I would take this book. But I chose this book. Maybe that's why it happened. I don't know, but I know for a fact he sent those kids to my door. It's just too profound. King James is harder to understand. I'm not having a problem understanding it. It's just kind of so far boring. Uh, it's a lot. So far, the only thing I see is a lot of people being born. I'm only on chapter 35. It's a long book, but I'm trying to get through it. And I plan to read other books. And I haven't read in years. The last book I truly read was The Secret. That was like 8, 9 years ago. I used to read it all the time. I've never read a book since because I just don't have passion. Like, I feel like you need to have some type of desire to read a book. There has to be something that intrigues you to want to read a book, right? Like, if you're reading a science fiction book, you have to like science fiction. If you're reading a murder book, you have to be intrigued by murder. If you're reading a dark love fantasy, you have to have something that gets you off about that to read it. I am not enjoying any book ever. In my whole life, I never have. But I'm enjoying reading this book because of the direction I'm trying to take my life. Don't read it like that. Read it. What do you mean? Just pick a page and read it? I just read. I just read every day. I just read. Whenever I pick it up, I just read whatever I'm on. Like, I am on Genesis 42 28 43 28. Chapter 43 is what I'm on. I've made it to chapter 43. I just read it in order because I don't know. I'm gonna read it start to cover and then continue on. Hmm. Good night, Randy. I love y'all. I love you. So yeah, if you guys have been listening to this nonsense and like I said, I wanted to give you guys insight that I dropped. You're gonna be in. I'm gonna read Robert. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this mofo in like a month. I'll be done with it in less than a month. I'm reading anywhere from like 2 to like 10 pages a day. And sometimes more. Is a little annoying how little the words are. They're like this damn small. And I'm like, son of a biscuit. But I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to allow myself to undo anything I've been taught, or believed in. I'm trying to listen to people who understand. I got so many people trying to send me info ever since I've discussed this a few weeks ago. Like, everywhere I turn is somebody, you got to read this and you got to do that and come to my prayer group and watch this video. And I'm like, oh, stop, stop. You know what I mean? Like, um, because I've noticed religion is very stubborn. Religion is very, very stubborn. Everybody seems to, it's like really bad. Everybody seems to be like, this is the way. This is the only one. You don't listen to this person. It's like everybody, how dare you think that person's right? Don't talk to those guys. And that's the part of religion I hate. That's the part of religion I've always hated because who's to really say how much is what is real? It has to be more of your connection to God, in my opinion, and your faith more than the teachings of these people, because every one of them, in my eyes, have some level of corruption. There's some type of false information to lead you in such a way, because God does allow the devil to touch people. That's part of his plan. The devil's allowed to do certain things that God gives him the power to. So who's to say every little bit of it doesn't have some level of corruption? Problem is, you're going to find yourself going back and rereading a lot of things as you start gathering other information. Yeah. Like I said, my goal is to read the King James, and then I'm going to read this Ethiopian Bible, and then from there, who knows? I'll just keep reading. I'll just keep going from book to book. The Father had every Bible for different religions. Said he wanted to understand the difference between the different religions so he could learn from all of them. I like that, Lori. That's where my head is. I want to learn from each one. I want to take. I want to cross reference. I want to understand. You know what I mean? I don't want to be part of them all, but I want to understand. I like the devil's advocate opinion on things. I want to know where right and wrong is, and everybody has right and wrong in them, and everybody has a way that they believe, and you can't change their opinion. That's where the problems lie. That's where the hate comes into things, is people cannot see past their perception. Wise woman once told me, there is a large mountain in front of your face, and a single strand of hair is preventing you from seeing the mountain. And that is very powerful for me. It has nothing to do with the Bible, but it is very powerful and indignative of a lot of people's thought process. My sister read it in 2 weeks. She read the what did she do? Not Did she just keep reading? Because I got stuff to do. That's like a task. Pray and ask God to help you see the scriptures and understand. Yes, I've been praying a lot, Ada Yeshua. I like your name. I've been praying a lot. I pray constantly. I don't know if even though I'm praying right. I'm just doing what I feel I'm supposed to be doing. I'll go sit in the backyard and speak out loud to God. I'll pray at every meal. I'll lay in my bed, whatever I'm doing. When I'm working out. So I've been changing not just my stuff spiritually. I've been truly changing everything about my life. Every single thing. Um, I'm now on almost a month of no weed, which is the longest streak I've ever gone in my life without smoking marijuana. I am at about 2 weeks of no cigarettes. That's been a tough one. I'm giving up biting my nails. I'm giving up a lot of things. Some things I don't want to discuss, whatever. But I've changing every aspect of my life. I'm working out every day. um, I've been doing just everything. I'm starting to like cook more. I'm starting to help. I'm cleaning. Um, I'm doing like yard work constantly. I'm talking to my children and trying to teach Michael and Kayla the opposite of what I've taught them for so long. I'm working on everything probably too much. One of my friends told me yesterday, he's like, Mike, you can't quit everything at once. You're gonna like kill yourself. You're gonna have like a mental breakdown. I'm like, no, it's not even that hard. It's something I've needed to do for a long time, and I'd rather put more pressure on me now instead of spread it out. I'm ready to tackle it all. I'm fear free. I haven't I can't even explain it. Like I'm not holding back like I would normally. Normally, like I would keep things bottled up inside of me. Instead, I'm letting it out, whether somebody doesn't like it or not. I'm making amends with people that I could just put off because it's just easier for me. I tell every person I talk to I love them. Like I'm changing every aspect of my life all at once. It's like their team is the only team, but a lot of them are. I get it, Robert. I get it. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how people are so stubborn, and I believe that's pride. That's one of the sins, right? That's one of the most easiest sin to be conquered by is your pride, and it's deep. The word pride and what pride means, ego and more, lust, greed, all of it. Like it's so deep when you really start to think about it. And it's the things that most of us allow to rule our world. I've been asking him, Robert, but like the problem is what I see is I don't know how to see all of his answers. I've been asking him this vigorously, and I've struggled maybe with seeing all the answer. Do yourself a favor and read other books like the Quran. Okay, I will do that. I'm not against it. I will read the Quran, but I got to finish this book. I got to finish this book first. I don't want to jump from book to book. I want to go book, 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 book. According to the Bible, that is always happening up in heaven. God is the judge with the devil sitting there as the prosecuting attorney, and Jesus sitting there as the defense. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's deep right there. The devil is like part of the team, and God allows him to touch individual spirits, etc. But he must have permission, and that's what I'm not. Don't think I don't know if I'm 100% correct, but that's what I'm seeing, and it's part of the plan because he needs to know what you're going to do. Are you that easily persuaded? Praying is just a talk between you two, no right or wrong. Okay. I got about 20 dog crates. Can you take them off me? You talking about just like dog kennels? Like we trying to give them away? Like I can sell them at the flea market for 10, 15 bucks, you know? Robert is right. Use a devotional and explains what you are reading. It ties into your Bible study. Our daily bread is a good. What does that mean? Use a devotional. That means just open the book and pick something, and whatever I read is what I'm supposed to be reading. Is that what you're saying? God is healing you from the inside out. Thank you. I agree with that. Like I totally agree with that. We were Methodists and it didn't matter to him. Unfortunately, I lost my storage of all his Bibles in it, but I have the memories and I know my father and mother are always watching over me. I believe that, Lori. I believe my parents are constantly watching over me. I do believe that they are part of my guardian angel circle. I do believe they are part of my guardian angel circle, 100%. Um, without a shadow of a doubt. Daily Devotional is a separate book that you can get from anywhere that sells Bibles or religious items. It will walk you through the Bible teaching. Like I feel confused if I try to do two books at once. I think that's how my brain is. I feel like that's the problem. Is like I need that structure. So is it gonna like confuse me or make me do something different where I'm just better off reading this one? I don't know. I don't know. I will look into it. I'll Google it after this show and I'll look into what it says. I'll look into what a devotional is. It's unique. This has been a eye-opening experience, and I've seen a lot. I feel I see how it bothers some people, and I see how it's also drawn some people closer to me because a lot of people do not like religion, much like myself, and I see that being that person on the other end for so long. Um, like my son, he's like, "Dad, I don't care to talk about religion." I keep bringing it up to him because I want him to understand that I've led him to the wrong path for too long. I was baptized years ago, Robert, long time ago, long time ago. Um, and so my son keeps getting mad, you know what I mean? And I'm like, son, I need you to understand that part of me not being the best father I could have been is I was teaching you something I wasn't aware of, and I've led you down the wrong path. And he keeps getting mad at me. He keeps getting mad at me. I'm like, I'm not going to stop, son. I'm not stopping. You're like, either going to have to deal with it or what? Um, I believe it's my job to help amend you. I'm trying to break our generational curses, and I can't break them if I don't teach you better than what I've taught you. Same with Michaela. Paul, I love you. I'm going to say a prayer for you. I know you need it. That's your job. If you have the knowledge, your duty is to share it. Understandable. Understandable. And a lot of people don't like it. That's all I can tell you, Robert, is a lot of people are not liking it. And then a lot of people are liking it. But maybe that's God pushing out the people that have been touched by the devil by them not liking it. I don't know. That's the way my brain's taking it. So I prayed last night over dinner that God would take everybody, either heal everybody in my life who is touched by the devil or take them out of my life. That's what I prayed for last night, openly at the dinner table. I literally said, please help heal anybody around me who is touched by the devil, demons, Lucifer, or Satan. And if you cannot heal them, take them from my life. And I meant that. I meant that. Yep, says Lydia. Yep. All right, guys. So if you guys want any more insight to this, please go check out my video on Hustle, Grind, and Wine. I think I'm going to call it a night. I got to get up and go golfing tomorrow in the rain. Um, I'm getting more comfortable praying in public at meals out with my wife. Yeah, I'm trying to be Robert, like, and it's different because um, a lot of my people don't like this type of stuff, and I'm literally praying out loud when I'm like at a restaurant, when I'm and whatever I eat, I'm praying out loud. I don't want to pray to myself. Um, I don't know if it makes a difference, but I feel speaking your prayer is more powerful than thinking your prayer. And I don't know if it makes a difference, but I feel words are more powerful than thoughts. Not that thoughts don't hold power, but saying it out loud is a magnification of the prayer. And I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm going with. I just want to see Lori, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I want to be happy. And I feel like I'm literally the happiest I've been in a long time. Not for other people, not for what somebody may bring to me, but for myself, as a man, as a leader, as a father, as a everything. I need to be the best version of myself, period. Not because something else makes me, whether it's an object, a thing, a person, whatever. That's false. I need to do it for me without all of that to be what God sent me to be. As you go on your power of example, I think it's a little bit reaching Michaela. I can see it reaching her. I've got her thinking, I've got her doing things she wasn't normally doing. She's seeking help that she wasn't seeking. My son's sitting back fighting it, and that's fine. He doesn't have a choice but to I mean, he can choose to not listen to me, but then he's not gonna ever hear me. You know what I mean? Because I God will just tell him I can't talk to his son, you know? And that's not right either, but maybe that's the kind of awakening he needs too. I just know that I'm gonna keep pushing, even if it pushes his buttons. I know that I've spent too long trying to teach them something that I was wrong about. And that bothers me too, that I led my children in that direction by letting my pride and my thought process get in the way. And I'm trying to amend that. Mike, I will keep in my prayers as well. It's refreshing to witness this in you. I'm telling you, you guys have left some of the beautifulest comments on my last video. Some of you all have said stuff like you've been praying for this moment because I openly discussed not believing in religion for so long on my channel and not believing in God. And I appreciate all of you. I truly love all of y'all. Thank you guys for sticking around and being here through this journey. Um, the journey's gonna get deep and wild. That's all I can say. I'm gonna continue to talk on this and talk with you guys. Please follow my new channel, Hustle Grinder Wine, and go watch my latest video. Check me out on other social medias. And also don't forget I go live on Whatnot like every day and sell things. So feel free to come join me on Whatnot and hang out. And if you guys ever have any like advice or things that you want me to possibly look into, message me. I'm always open to hear what I don't know. That is the most important part of letting pride go, I think, is being able to hear what you don't believe in or think differently than what you're programmed to think. That is like the ultimate level of letting your pride go, is being able to be receptive to what you don't know or understand. When we think we know everything, we're really limiting our growth as a person and our spiritual enhancement. And so I'm completely open to that. Feel free to message me on Instagram and or TikTok. That's the two easiest ways to reach Storage Auction Pirate, is doing that. Okay. I appreciate y'all and I will see you guys later on. I love you. Have a good night.